You're alive. I'm alive. Are we alive? Sorry if you were trying to catch that just about 5 minutes ago. I had to delete the one that was up here informing everybody we'd be live because I don't know what's been going on lately. Um, Mercury is not in retrograde yet, but Pluto, I believe, went retrograde last night. Guys, I'm normally cool with retrogrades. I have no idea if I was born in a retrograde. Normally, I don't have problems, but I seem to be just having problems every time to try to go live. It just keeps doing this. It'll say going live, and it'll just keep circling, keep circling. Um, so, hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday and May 1st. Yes. Oh, we are done with April. I'm so happy. Um uh yeah, I'm just happy. Yesterday was I know y'all can feel me on this. So much energy and interdimensional energy and cosmic energy and man, I barely went outside. Because my house is on lockdown. I don't let nothing affect my home. But when I stepped outside, I was like, oh my gosh, it almost toppled me over. So, I, what a glorious event though. I mean, I loved it. I appreciated it. I totally accepted it into reality, all this cosmic and glorious stuff happening for us humans and the planet. But I gotta tell you, even my dog, if the animals are affected, we are definitely affected. Man, my dog has had it rough this past week. And yesterday was like a climax of by the end of the night, I'm like, are you okay? Just let me, like, I had to, my dog is perfectly fine and he is well over 50 pounds. And I had to pick him up to like put him on the couch. He was that, like, just, he was not, yeah, he was not interested in anything. Anything. Um, so it was a powerful day yesterday. We had the new moon in Taurus, I believe. We had the solar eclipse. We had, like I said, Pluto going retrograde. We had Venus and Mars. I mean, we have so much stuff that happened yesterday. And tomorrow's Beltane. Yay! I love Beltane, by the way. I have about 3 times a year or events and or significant holidays in a way. Um, I love Beltane, I love Yule, and I love the fall equinox. Those are my top three. Um, and yesterday was the black full moon too. That or sorry, new moon. That also means that there were 2 new moons in like 1 month. It was a very interesting month. But May is here. Yay, May. I was actually going to pull a book to talk about that. And I forgot to do so because it just kept circling, going live. Um, we are out of April. We are headed into May. And ladies and gentlemen, celestial beings, lovely people, um, this time I'm happy the message today is pretty easy peasy. Because between now and about mid June, yeah, is a pre. Hi, Robert. Happy birthday, Robert. I love birthdays. Love birthdays. I always saw birthdays as our personal New Year's because it was when you came and established your new year. So I love birthdays. Um, yeah, between now and the middle of June, around June 22nd ish, somewhere in there, And this information is from me and some others that I follow. That I have a a pair of leaders that are down in Ecuador, and they're pretty much the only ones that I really, really listen to. I'm very picky, but you got to be picky when it comes to who you're listening to and what you're following. You know, you take what resonates with you. So, what's interesting about this time period right now, I kept saying, like, I have anchored into 5D, which I have, but anchor is not really the right word. And I knew that, but I guess I wasn't really thinking of what the word was. But I was listening to my lovely people in Ecuador. They are Shri and Kira. You can find them in my playlist in my channels. Amazing, amazing teachers. Uh, they were explaining the other night, which thank God they explained this energy a bit to me when I was living through it, going, oh goodness. Like Wednesday, this past Wednesday, the 27th, that day was brutal on me, emotionally, physically, all sorts of stuff. And I was just like, I mean, ups and downs, ups and downs. And later that night, they did a big ritual, a big conversation, a big teaching, also with the Lakota Dakota head chief past 30, 40 years. Chief Phil was there, who did tons of prayers with us as well, because they are bringing the tribes of the North and the tribes of South America together. And it's, oh, I'm getting chills. What they're doing is very powerful. So please, you'll find them on if you go to just my channels on this site, they're in there, Shri and Kira, the official site, I believe. They were talking that night about how that day was for us. We were going to experience that. Exactly what I went through that day, crying, not crying, angry, this and that, all over the place. Was for us to finally get to that resolve of claiming ourselves. And trust me, I did that day in a very interesting way. And actually, I was in the Akashic Records trying to get a message for other people and something for myself. And I kind of lost my mind all in the records, and I stood up very proudly and claimed who I was. And clearly stated I have not forgotten my mission. But then I felt bad because I've never gone off like that in the records. But you know what? I'm human. Sometimes it happens. It's cool. And of course, I apologize because it is a respectful place, and I laid down the law as to me claiming and establishing who I am. I had no idea that the energy Wednesday was exactly for that. And unfortunately, I witnessed in many facets of my life people pushing back against that energy of claiming who they are. And then others did claim who they are. So I'm proud of that. It's been such a week. And it was this huge climax yesterday. This morning was lovely. You do have to forgive me. I've been up since 5 whatever, and I'm not the type that can go back to sleep. So and Robert, if you are still listening, my love, the data coming in is amazing. And for those who might not know or be listening to this later, lovely Robert here with I in the chat are a part of a soul tribe who are doing a amazing project experiment, what have you, with about 84 people, 85 across the globe. And I'm collecting some data from it. And it started this morning at 6 a.m. And I'm not going to go into detail. But wow. Yeah. This is going to be pretty cool, man. It's pretty groovy, Robert. I'll tell you that much. Yeah. I still haven't talked to Wayne uh, fully yet, but it's wild. Yeah, sweetheart. Okay, so I'll talk about the records for a moment. Robert said he's been listening to people talk about the records, and people will say there's a book there for you. There is. I actually taught a workshop yesterday, workshop one, for people that are going towards their Akashic Records practitioner certificate. And so I feel like I've been talking about the records a lot. And the class was great. It was lovely. Um, the records will present themselves to individuals in a way that is comfortable and secure and safe and beautiful for that person. Same as like when we see angels, we're going to see them the way that they know we will feel comfortable and safe seeing them. A lot of, let's say, celestial stuff works that way because they don't want us to be uncomfortable or cower away. So I have heard people talk about how they see the records as, like, think of like the Emerald City and everybody's books are actually just crystals they hold their hands over. I don't see it that way. Mine is definitely a library, a very beautiful, rich wood, books everywhere around, ladders, where I feel good and beautiful and safe and comfortable. And for me, yes, they go and retrieve the person's book that I'm reading for or myself. And yeah, they come back out with like a leather bound book for me to look at. A lot of it is imagery, but they may, I might kind of see a scope of someone's life, this and that. Depends on the reading. But yeah, Robert, a lot of people do see actual books because we associate the Akashic records with a grand library, and everybody's got a book. Hence, like in the Bible, the book of life, which they very much manipulated. They really manipulated that. But that's where we get a lot of the ideas of books. Moving forward, but great question. Yes, or great input. I can talk about the records all day, man. I love the records. Um, it's the one place that, well, there's nothing like it here. I'll tell you that. There's no judgment. I mean, there's only love. There's only love. And, yeah, it's sometimes hard to operate and move around here when you know that is fully possible of existing. So, hence more of my mission. Today, we are going to talk about the pyramid of self-ascension. Um, some people call it the yoga of self-ascension. Some people have so many terms of self-ascension. Knowing me, knowing Cortney, of course it's going to be a pyramid. Of course it's going to be a pyramid. And we're going to talk about it. It's, guys, pyramids, triangles. Uh, it's a powerful, powerful symbol. But I did pick a card today out of my sacred. I'll hold that back up again too so people can know. This is a deck of oracle cards that is the Sacred Geometry Activation cards. Well, hopefully without a glare. This is they're good cards. And I decided a few weeks back that when I go to do my weekly goal, I'm going to pull one. And I do it like 2 minutes right before I do this. I don't pull it early. I pull it right there. So the energy is appropriate for the message. We got today, folks, and we got number 12, change. And that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about. The frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the forever changing nature of reality, both inward and outward. so that we can so we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. And this is the sacred geometry. This is what it looks like. That's beautiful. So as I was saying before, the energy is presented right now. Right now, people, I still have yet to really go outside. Right now, through mid-June-ish, they are all here. They are all here to support us in all forms of change. Especially, you got to think right in May, we also have a full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio. For most people, that is going to be the time period that the change really starts kicking off. Scorpio, prior to being a scorpion, first, Scorpio was known galactically in the stars as the golden eagle. Then it turned into the phoenix, rising from the ashes. Death and rebirth, which we just talked about. So that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. That is Scorpio. And so around that full moon lunar eclipse, in Scorpio, it's going to be intense for people. It's going to be a lot of emotions. Scorpio forces us to look at our dark side so we can let it go. And the reason all of this galactic, cosmic, planetary, all this stuff is going on, all these energies are being presented, is so we can, man, guys, this is going to be the ride. Like this entire time, we've just been standing in line for the roller coaster. May 1st, right now, we're climbing into the seat of the roller coaster. I'm trying to prepare people for that. So it is all good for us, though. It is to support the pyramid of self-ascension. I'm going to say for me, because my moon is in Scorpio, my rising is also in Scorpio. Find out where Scorpio is in your chart, because it will be affected, that house in your birth chart, with that full moon. I get to have so much transformation, which I'm accepting. I already knew prior to leading into May that I need to put my pyramid together, because right now I had been saying that I'm anchored into the 5D. It's not fully, 5D is not even anchored, so you can't say that word. Right now, the fifth dimension is kind of waves. It's kind of like those leaders in Ecuador refer to it as the sea of neutrality. We're kind of just floating in water in a way, in 5D, and it very much feels that way, especially the past 2 or 3 days. I mean, and I know, even prior to getting more of that information of like, oh, Cortney, you're not really anchored. You're still floating in 5D. You're still, kicking it in the water. You're still coming up for air and stuff. I fully accepted that. And prior to that information, I had known, okay, spiritually, mentally, I'm there. Physically, physically, my body will not be able to sustain that frequency. And I knew that. So I dedicated already. I put it into motion already that May and June is all putting my physical back in order. Breaking physical habits that are not good for me anymore. I have to let go of them. Thank you, full Scorpio moon lunar eclipse. I have to let go. I have to become that phoenix, especially for my physical body. So the yoga, or not the yoga, I'm sorry, the pyramid of self-ascension, that is encompassing all of this. And right now, that is what everybody's going to be doing, if they know it or not know it. I do want to say that. If they know it or not know it. I only have 26 subscribers. That's a very small amount. Meaning, when I go out there into the stores, when I'm driving my car and everybody's driving like a crazy person, when all this is happening, all of those people are going to be going through all of this physical, emotional, spiritual, mental, everything, DNA change. And they're not going to be aware of it. This is when we have to have compassion for ourselves. For ourselves. This is the next 2 months, guys, is self-care big time. So you can come with me. Come on with me. But that also means we have to have compassion for others. When people are going to start running their mouths crazy, whatever you may see, hear, what have you, know that we need to forgive them, for they know not what they do. They have no idea that these energies are doing this, that are having this happen. They probably feel like they're going absolutely insane because they don't know that it's happening to all of us. So compassion, compassion, compassion starts with self. The pyramid of self-ascension. Okay, so my hands are somewhat of a pyramid shape, right? All of us are made up of a pyramid. Actually, we have 3 pyramids within us, and that's going to be your homework assignment of your weekly goal. Figure out your pyramids. That is definitely important. So, I have a pyramid shape in front of me. We all have this. Let's say this corner here is our emotional and mental. Let's say this corner over here, if you can see my hands wiggle, is physical, and the top is spiritual. This is what makes up all of us. And often, people, we neglect one, definitely. We neglect one corner of the pyramid, one side at some point. We definitely neglect it. Most of us kind of neglect 2. And it could be different for everyone. I was just speaking to a girlfriend who, like, mine is physical. I've always neglected my physical because it was like, oh, this meat suit. Oh, why can't I get out of this? So I just kind of was like, oh, it's not really serving me any purpose. I spent my whole life looking at it like that until now. The phoenix is going to rise. But one of my best friends, man, she's in one of the best health. That girl, whoo. But she has neglected her spiritual big time because she was focusing all on her physical. Now, a situation has arisen that she is forced into starting to develop a spiritual side. That is what we're all going to be doing. The energies right now are going to be demanding. They're not even asking anymore. They are demanding that we see the pyramid that is us, that we see what sides need more attention. Because here's the deal, folks. If we are the pyramid and one side is collapsing because we're neglecting it, or we have bad habits, or we tell ourselves horrible things, whatever it may be, if one side starts to fall, and most of us have taken geometry, if one side collapses, the whole pyramid falls. And we just can't have it anymore. We just can't. There needs to be balance and order. Thoth says it very clearly. He says order, which is the laws that he teaches. Some say principles, like Hermes says principles. Thoth says law. He says the cosmos. His direct words are order and balance is the law of the cosmos. That order is all of the laws in one. And he's saying that is the ultimate of the cosmos. Same for us. We are really living cosmos. You can study any science now that says, oh man, the space inside of a single cell is like looking into the cosmos. Yeah, it is. And I have billions and billions of cells. I am my own cosmos. So mine needs order and balance. So does everybody else. I love everyone so much. Let's get on board. Let's get everything going. We have to balance this out, and we can see it as a pyramid. Because I don't care if it's your mental, your physical, or your spiritual. If one point of anywhere on the triangle, you could even turn the triangle, I don't care, any point, it will all fall if we neglect it. So these energies are demanding that we look at this stuff. The Scorpio full moon lunar eclipse that is going to bring a lot of emotions is so we can look and see and feel what areas of our life need for us to change. Isn't it interesting that I pulled that card? This message did come from the records. I always get my messages from the Akashic records, and politely I said, please give me something I know already about. I'm not going to have any time to research. And I then picked the card change. Let's read it again. The frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the ever-changing nature of reality, both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. Let's talk about that sweet release for a moment. Guys, it doesn't always have to be hard. We can have joy in knowing that we are taking care of ourselves. In knowing that if we stabilize our pyramid, if we stabilize it with order and balance, that there will be nothing stopping us from then when the waters of the neutrality of the 5D, which some of you are already vastly tapping into, come end of June, that pyramid, your pyramid, the pyramid within you, will definitely be able to anchor into very steady waters and be like that ship that is going to sail the way forward so others may see that it can happen. That is what the energies are for. But it takes us acknowledging, releasing, sweet release. And I believe the message, why I received this message for today. Hey, Jules, why I received this message for today is so we can start thinking about it. So we can already maybe go through some of those emotions, maybe form a little bit of an action plan before that full moon comes. Because why, if we have already established a lot of that list of things that we should change, list of things that we should cover to take care of ourselves and make our pyramid very structurally sound, order, and balance, then when everybody else is experiencing that and not knowing, we can stay steady in our knowing. We can breathe into our knowing and know also and trust that we have already started. We have already begun to do the change. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're understanding this concept. That is what is within you. You can look at other geometry, but I am making that more of your trust me, I'm a part of this as well, more of the weekly goal to first identify your self-ascension pyramid. What areas do we need to address? I've already addressed mine, and I'm already putting things in effect to get the ball rolling. Mine will always be, oh, Cortney, you neglected your physical because I spend way too much time up here or at my heart. It's way too much time. I forget that this meat suit is important. It's very, very important because it helps me sustain the frequencies and the vibrations and all of it, that when I am fully anchored into 5D, I'll be able to be triumphant there. It won't cause issues. I'll be able to fully float along those peaceful waters. So everybody's got this. We actually, wink, wink, we actually have 3 pyramids within us. That's why there were 3 pyramids built. But that's for another time. Focus right now on figuring out your pyramid. What do we have to look at? Because guys, right now, these energies say, let it go, release, change. I'll put up the symbol again. Change. I pulled this card. This is the sacred geometry of change. Change in our life to better support our self pyramid. And I am I'm not working against the energies anymore. I came to some point, I don't know what time in my life, that I had to first acknowledge the energies that are present, and this is the energy that will be present. So it will be bumpy for all people. Self-compassion, compassion for others. I'm going to say too, ladies and gentlemen, whoever is listening, when we have an opportunity to practice compassion for ourselves and others, always see it that way, always take it, because 5D is compassion. That's all that's there. That's why there is no judgment. I've been practicing compassion for years now, so I knew I would be able to get into 5D. 7's a bit different, and we're trying to level up here, folks. We don't want to, when it's time to elevate, don't break. And a lot of this energy right now is going to have people that are unaware, definitely those that are unaware, it's going to seem like they're just breaking all over the place. For us who can be aware of such things, it is time for us to elevate, but it does take structuring, maintaining our pyramid. Once again, somewhere on the pyramid, a corner is mental and emotional, somewhere is physical, somewhere is spiritual. All those 3 components make up the points of your pyramid. And if one point starts to be neglected, starts to crumble, starts to fall away, the entire pyramid eventually crashes. And I know we can all understand this. How would you say? We've all seen it. I mean, if I neglect my physical to the point that I'm too drained to do any spiritual work, or my mind, I can't even wrap my head around things because, oh man, Courtney, you've pushed your body into basically breakdown almost. Because I can do that, guys. I really can, especially if there needs to be some hard work to be done. On top of other things, bad habits maybe. Um, the whole pyramid ends up crashing. I'm not able to get to the frequencies that I need to get to. We all have that. I neglect my body. Others neglect their mental. They drowned out with, you know, electronics and whatnot instead of picking up a book. Others definitely neglect their spiritual. And it doesn't matter which one it is. It has to be structured, sound, order, and balance, as Thoth says. So that is our goal, guys, to start thinking about this. Start thinking about your own personal pyramid. Your personal pyramid. Because change is coming. Change is coming if we want it or not. Change is going to be in your life. Change is coming because we can't take it with us. So it's better to, there's an old Japanese proverb that says, a wise man foresees the future. That does not necessarily mean he's psychic and he can foresee the future. It's literally, he sees the writing on the wall. It's literally, he knows he should put his body back together. He knows he should read some books. He knows. Do you see what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be always this and that. So we're knowing it now. We got through April. April was the wake-up call, guys. April was the wake-up call. That's why April sucked. April was the wake-up call for a lot of people. It was. All that stuff that was nudging you, all those people that were nudging, all of this, all of that. April was the wake-up call. Now, May is, okay, what are we going to do about it? And it is focused on self-compassion, compassion for others, because that is what 5D is. And making your pyramid more sound. Definitely. So this is also Q&A with me for any of those who are visiting right now. Thank you. Hi, Jules. Hi, Robert. If you have any questions, and it can be about the pyramid of self-ascension, it could be about really almost anything. I'm kind of open to chat right now. I'm kind of taking it a little bit easy today. So I'm going pretty slow and just taking it easy. So if anything, those in the chat. I will say too, I was going to mention this at the beginning. I am teaching a moon manifesting course May 22nd. It's just about a 4-hour, and it's going to be Zoom, a 4-hour Zoom class. And it's going to have 25 years of my experience loaded in there. It's going to have, I'm going to send people that sign up for it. It's 25 to 30 pages of a PDF that I'm typing up. So the PDF is enough, but you would get me teaching as well. And that's why I'm talking about this the full moon that's going to be happening. Lunar eclipse with Scorpio. Like I said, guys, these energies are demanding. Like, we got the wake-up call in April. Wake up, wake up. You got to change this. You got to change that. You got to change. This is not okay. Some of these little habits that we have, not okay. And then there was enough time. This is our time to go, okay, I love myself now. I love myself fully and wonderfully. I have self-compassion. I'm not going to beat myself up anymore because I have some of these bad habits or I have poor thoughts about myself. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I'm going to love myself enough to now change it. And so between now and that full moon, that is when we can start putting a little bit of action steps into effect, a little bit of a game plan to work on our pyramid. Because guys, if you can, I'm telling you right now, if you can get this pyramid structured, your inner and outer. I love how it says on this card, the frequency of change supports our ability to gracefully dance with the ever-changing nature of reality. Guys, nothing in the world is ever going to be what we thought it ever was. Ever again. Ever again. And it's going to always be changing and vastly rapid. I mean, just both inward and outward, so that we can appreciate the sweet release of the old and the birth of the new. I want you guys to be with me in the new earth. And it does take looking inward. What do I have to change inward? Do I have to start going to CODA meetings for my codependency issues, which I ain't got no shame. I was very codependent for many, many years. Lots of counseling, lots of CODA meetings. Free now. I'm just free now. Most of it, it's something like 98% of all humans. They have now done it statistically, have some elements of codependency in it. And codependency does not mean you're dependent on anyone else. It's fascinating stuff. Look into it, because I'm sure you're part of that 98. We all are. If we have to work on that stuff for our emotional, our mental, do like we said, me with my body, I neglect the heck out of it for a very long time. Even if I was trying to put it back together, I really did some damage, folks. Let me tell you. So I'm putting my body back together spiritually. What am I reading? What am I watching? What am I paying attention to? You are what you read, by the way. You very much are, because reading, because it involves different kind of concentration, it is a form of meditation opposed to listening to something or watching something. It's a different form of concentration, and it is a meditation. So it imprints into the DNA differently. Our DNAs are very much changing. We don't have any control over that. All we can do is help the process. We definitely need to be drinking more water. I don't know if people know that how to calculate how much water they need. I'm a big fan of water, guys. And the new earth is nothing but water. Everything we're headed into has a lot to do with the water. The water in our bodies, the fact that we are going to be controlled more by what the moon is doing, hence why I'm doing the moon class. My husband goes on and on about structured water. It's all about the water, our cells, the water within, and the water of the planet. There's going to be massive things that you're going to see. For us, though, we need to drink good water, and to know how much water someone should be drinking yourself. Because they used to say, 8 glasses a day. But what people missed is the doctors would say a minimum of 8 glasses of water a day, meaning that just kind of keeps you alive. Well, the frequencies we're heading into, the energy that we're heading into, we need a hell of a lot more water, folks. But right now, to just be healthy for yourself, because everybody's different, you take your weight. This is for men, women, all people. You take your weight and then you times it by 0.04. The number you get there is how many fluent ounces of water. Yeah, we use ounces. I don't know about other places of water that you need to consume a day just to support where you're at right now physically. If you want to lose weight, you tack on some more water. If you're going to be working in frequencies like at 6 a.m. in the morning, for those who know what I'm talking about, if you're going to be doing anything like that, you have to increase that number. So once again, you take your current weight, you times it by 0.04. That's how many fluent ounces of water you need to drink. And it needs to be good water. If you're doing any kind of metaphysical work, you got to add more into the mix. If you're trying to lose weight, you got to add more into the mix. Yeah. So for me, I mean, guys, I'm 6 feet tall. I'm a large human. I am a very large human, if you haven't noticed. And I'm perfectly comfortable that way. I am, because my real self is even bigger. So thank God I have this meat suit that's pretty big. um, I need way more than 8 glasses of water, just because I'm a much bigger human. So that's the calculation people need to use, and it is very serious. Drink water. Please do not drink any pop, soda, Coke, however people you call it. The Midwest, we call it pop, we call it soda. Down in the South, they call it Coke. Whatever you might, soft drink. Man, they're gonna hate me on this YouTube right now. Please don't drink that. Please do not drink that. Please drink water. And I also learned for someone else today. Well, not today, it was the other day, but I'll pass it forth. I was in the records for them, and somehow I felt like I needed to ask about protein shakes. And the Akashic record said no one should drink protein shakes. I guess supposedly that stuff, I mean, I don't, so, but because I was asking for somebody else, I guess that stuff, we all know our food has chemicals. We know it. There's no more denying it. I guess that stuff is like the worst of the bunch. And what's scary is our protein is probably starting soon, for the next few years, is not going to be up to par. So a lot of people are going to probably turn to protein shakes. And see, everybody does want to go to the records, but sometimes it's not the best news. So if you're listening, stay away from the protein shakes. So, oh, I love all people. I do. I love us all. So, that's a little extra thing from me. So is anybody still here? Jules, Robert, any questions, any thoughts, any concerns? Anything you got for me? If you're around. This has kind of been a weird, I guess you would say, video. And I hope I explained things well enough. It really is for you to sort out yourself. You do have a pyramid of those 3 elements: mental / emotional, spiritual, and physical. It's time. And it's definitely time that we all have to have order and balance. This energy is demanding it out of us. And be compassionate, guys. If you have days, like I said, I haven't really even stepped outside of my house because the energy out there, and I'm accepting it. It's cool. The planet needs that to happen for what she's going through. but I don't have to put myself directly in it, and then I'll accept that I have days that are down. I need my body to rest. I'll have days that I know, okay, I actually do have to shut my mind down, or I have to journal and get it all out. Um, Things like that. I have to have compassion to myself. But I also do have to take the action steps of all that awareness that I experienced in April. April really was, it was choices that it's interesting. It's like it was choice and awareness because time is moving so fast in a way that we would make these choices and then we would rapidly see how they would play out. And that is all for us to gain experience going into May of a full scope of, okay, what should I focus on? Many people were bombarded with stuff at work, bombarded with stuff with loved ones, um, so much. And like I said at the beginning, Wednesday, the 27th, was really kind of in a way for us to say, okay, enough. I know who I am. I know my power. I'm claiming what is mine, and I'm not dealing with it anymore. And as we walked out of Wednesday, the 27th, into this lovely new moon and all of the stuff that happened yesterday, that was for us to really go, what? Okay, here's a tip, guys. I do teach all this stuff. Here's a tip. When there's a solar eclipse, nobody should be doing anything. Nobody should be doing anything. I will tell you, I did teach my Akashic Records class that yesterday because of all of the amount of power that was happening. But we were done with all the heavy load of that class before the solar eclipse. And then we took lunch because no one should ever do anything during a solar eclipse. It is designed for us to rest. So I just really, and it's an indication, it's a marker in time that, hey, things are going to change. Rest today because things are going to change. And once again, I pulled the change card. I was not expecting that. So, yeah, April came up with a lot of awareness based on our choices. Cause and effect. We saw cause and effect play out tremendously with everyone around and in our lives. Now we have to make better choices. And it starts with that pyramid. Man. So, okay, so nobody's typed anything, so I believe I will pretty much sound off. Thank you for listening today, though. I'm happy that the records kind of gave me something easy. I hope this was easy to follow. I hope it resonates with you. I hope that people really take this time, like I said, to use the opportunities of having compassion for ourselves and others, but also to embrace the energies of change instead of fighting against them. So that's our weekly goal, is to really look at our pyramid, because if we can make that more structured with order and balance, which is the law of the cosmos from Thoth, then we will move forward in all that's to come much more gracefully, much more gracefully. And we have, guys, we have like 2 months to really put personal changes into effect. This is all about you right now. This is all about your personal change. Physical, emotional, spiritual. This is all about focusing on your personal change, not other people's. We can have compassion for them and we can, love on them from a distance in a way, but we really got to look at ourselves. Um, because what's the point of looking at everybody else when we're then lagging behind? Yeah. So I love you all. And remember, don't drink those protein shakes. Oh, you'll never know what I'm going to talk about. You never know what's going to come out of my mouth. So I love you all. Have a glorious, glorious week. Once again, for those in the Soul Tribe who are listening, collecting the data from our project this morning, our workshop at 6 a.m., has just been fabulous to see. It has been and I'm still getting emails in, and there will be updates as we go. I guess I should say one more time before I leave, I will be next weekend. So my Friday at Live, if you are not listening to the Emerald Tablets videos, please listen to them. We have not fully gotten deep with it yet, thank goodness, because next week I might not be here on Sunday nor on Friday. We'll see how it goes. My in-laws are in town from Spokane, so we haven't seen them in years. It'll be a nice visit. The following week, though, Friday the 13th and that Sunday, I can guarantee you I won't be here Friday. I will be having a surgery, and Sunday I will most likely be looking at all the data that's coming in, all the emails people will send me while I'm in bed recovering. So I will not be doing a video. My husband's already joked with me of like, oh, Cortney, I can just see you on pain meds and starting a video and be like, let me tell you about thoth. He's already picking on me because, oh yeah, me on pain meds. Oh man, I don't even need it because, I'm already, but if I do take it, yeah, talk about the wild stuff that comes out of my mouth. So I love you all, and I will try to post videos, but they will most likely just be uploaded. But I'm not disappearing. I'm just taking care of me. That's the point, guys. I love you all. Have a great week. Bye. Namaste.